that time of year again. Weather's getting cold, it's getting dark early, and nothing better than to have some good old beans. So this is my 3-bean soup. I use Great Northern beans, red beans, and navy beans. And then all of my ingredients are here. I use minced garlic, onions, liquid smoke, veggie broth, earth balance veggie butter, vegan butter, veggie blend, everything bagel, chili powder, turmeric, salt and pepper. And I'll start by just dicing these onions up. I like a lot of onions, makes it very flavorful. You can cube the onions, dice them, cut them up in big chunks, small chunks. I just like mine kind of medium chunks. I'll cut them down that way. Onions are all chopped. Here are my beans, and I typically soak my beans overnight. I like to 24-hour soak if possible, but no less than 4 hours. And they're already soaked and ready to go in. So they're soaked and drained. And I just pour them into my crock pot. Then I add my onions in first before I start adding in the rest of my ingredients. In my veggie broth, and I like my beans to be kind of soupy, so I typically pour the broth in so it kind of comes up right above the beans, like you see it just right lined up above the beans. And I'm kind of out of broth here, so I'll add a little water just to fill up a little more to where I like it, so that when they cook down it makes it nice and soupy. Mix it all in together. And now I'll start adding the rest of my ingredients, starting with the liquid smoke, which gives it like a good smoky, almost like you have a piece of smoked meat in there without the smoked meat. This whole dish is vegan. So I put that in. And it actually smells like already like there's some smoked meat cooked in there, which smells really good. Stir that in. I add my minced garlic, and I love garlic, so you can put in as much garlic or as little garlic as you like, but I usually put in about 2 to 3 heaping tablespoons, and maybe just a little more, but definitely at least 2 to 3 heaping tablespoons because I do like garlic. And then I just add in the rest of my seasoning. I love liquid amino. It gives it a nice salty, savory flavor. It smells so good too. Adding in some turmeric, and I like turmeric too, so I put in a generous portion of turmeric, but again, you can season it to taste. Everything bagel seasoning, really, really good, gives it great flavor. Sprinkle that in to taste. some black pepper and veggie seasoning. And I'll put the link in the description for this seasoning. It's from Indie by Lee, and it's the vegetable blend, and it's really, really good. I put it in all things vegetable and beyond. And some red pepper flakes. Gives it a little spice, just a little bit. A little bit goes a long way. Let me say that with those red pepper flakes, but it does give it a nice little kick. Stir it all in. And this step is optional. I do use the Earth Balance vegan margarine, butter margarine, and it just gives it a nice buttery flavor. So I'll put in about a tablespoon of it, not a whole lot, but it does make the broth have a nice buttery flavor when it cooks down. Again, this step is optional. And my kale greens, so I'll add these to the end. I'm going to let this cook for about 6.5, 7 hours on low. And when I have like 30 to 45 minutes left, I'll put the kale greens in and you'll see how that comes out. So while that's all over there, just cooking down, I'm going to cook my brown rice. And I cook it in my Instant Pot, 1 part water, 1 part brown rice. And I'm making a good amount because I'm going to be meal prepping for the week. But I use rice, 1 part rice, 1 part water, a little coarse salt. I stir it all together and then I cook it for 25 minutes, high pressure. I'll put the link in the description, or not the link, the instructions for cooking how I cook my brown rice and the Instant Pot. I'll put that down in the description as well. Okay, so next morning, and I usually cook my beans overnight, so everything is all cooked together. I added the kale in when there was about 45 minutes left. And this is how it came out. It smells so good. And so now I'm just prepping my meals for the next few days, my dinner. I make these up and I usually end up making about 4 at a time. And there you have it, a delicious meal for this cold, dark weather. Enjoy.